What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down Superman and Lois Season 3, Episode 13, or the season finale. Now, yes, guys, I know it's been a little while since I've done a Superman and Lois video, but yeah, I was just trying to focus on, the end of the Flash, wrapping up the Arrowverse stuff. So yeah, now we're back with Superman and Lois. So yeah, let's go ahead and start reviewing the episode, and wow, it was a good one. So guys, the episode starts with Lois giving a little monologue, and that leads into her questioning what Lex Luthor is up to, as obviously in last episode, episode 12, was his debut, and it was fantastic to see his backstory, when he was in prison. This honestly seems like the most ruthless Lex Luthor we've ever had, on the most ruthless live action Lex Luthor, I guess you could say. So I really like his character so far. But also Jordan in last episode sort of revealed himself to the world as another superpowered being, in addition to Superman. I think they even call him Superboy at one point in that episode. So yeah, that was cool. But Jordan spent the first part of this episode annoyed at Clark for not letting him use his powers, which I guess would be annoying from his perspective. But some people think Jordan, started to get a little just aggravating after last episode, with his situation, but I don't agree. I actually thought it was very realistic and just foreshadowing more Superboy stuff to come in season 4, which is obviously going to be pretty cool. Now, one of the only things that I didn't like, that much about the season was the whole forced relationship with Kyle and Chrissy. Basically, in this episode, Chrissy gets pregnant or whatever, and then later, Kyle proposes to her or whatever. But this just doesn't have much of a connection to the main storyline. But hey, at least it's not as bad as the side stories on The Flash Season 9 with like Allegra and Chester and Cecile and all that. Anyways, Superman hears that Judge Reagan got murdered. Obviously, she was in link with Bruno Mannheim earlier in the season. But then we figure out that Lex Luthor is the one responsible for the murder, and he did it in order to send Lois a message. So Lex is going after everyone who helped put him in prison. And with Lois, writing the article, I believe it was 17 years ago, the article that Lois wrote was part of what put him in prison. So Lois would obviously be on that list of people that Lex is going to be going after. Sam Lane also reveals his girlfriend to his family, but then his girlfriend is revealed to be working with Lex Luthor, and she tases him and helps kidnap him. Anyways, then Clark is finally able to talk some sense into Jordan as he apologizes to Sarah for being such a jerk lately, which is honestly pretty satisfying. I really did like that scene. And it does seem like everyone is getting in a new relationship in season 3 as Lana and John Henry get together in this episode, which I actually do like a lot more than the Chrissy and Kyle relationship. Then Clark and Lois find out that Lex took Sam, as we see Lex and his crew bring a cow in for zombie Bizarro to eat, which is pretty gross. But anyways, Lex got the device that's able to call for Superman from kidnapping Sam, I would assume. I would assume that's how he got it. But anyways, that's followed by him saying, "Let's go kill the Man of Steel." So obviously at this point, we know that Lex Luthor has some kind of master plan. But then we finally see what happened at the end of last episode when zombie Bizarro flew at Lex's sidekick. I forgot the guy's name. But yeah, we did find out that he didn't kill him. He just ripped his ear off. So that's why he was obviously able to help kidnap Sam earlier in the episode. But Lex initially thought that he had killed Zombie Bizarro when he just shot him a bunch of times. But then he came back to life, and Lex looks at him and says, "You're growing." So at this point in the episode, I was starting to think that Bizarro would turn into Doomsday, and Lex says something to Bizarro that just made Lex seem like such a ruthless villain. He said, "Let me kill you over and over so nothing will ever be able to hurt you again." That's followed by a scene of Lex just killing Bizarro in multiple different ways, like drowning him, like burning him alive, and Lex is such a ruthless villain. But then eventually, after he's been killed enough times, Bizarro starts to grow spikes out of his body, and it was really looking like he would be becoming Doomsday. But man, this Lex Luthor is the most evil Lex Luthor I think I've ever seen. So then we see Superman in space listening for Lex, and he finds him, and he sees that Lex is approaching the Kent household. Then we have a really cool confrontation between Superman and Lex, and we also find out that Lex has, no idea that Clark is Superman, which is kind of disappointing. I mean, you would assume that Lex and Superman would have known each other, before Lex was in prison. Obviously with Smallville and all that stuff, like the TV show, obviously Lex and Clark had a very good relationship at first. So I was kind of disappointed that they didn't really have a relationship at all, or even that Lex had a relationship with Clark, because he really only seemed to care about Lois when he made his debut in last episode. So that was kind of disappointing, but it's nothing to get too upset about. But anyways, Lex uses the Superman calling device that he got from Sam to call who was once Bizarro to the farm, and it's revealed to be none other than Doomsday, which actually looks so cool. Now, this really reminded me of Batman v Superman, if you guys remember. In Batman v Superman, Lex creates Doomsday, then calls Superman to him, and then, essentially releases Doomsday onto Superman, which is exactly what happened here pretty much. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool reference right there. But then we have an epic fight scene between Superman and Doomsday, and it starts with Superman essentially getting destroyed, at least to start. But now this is one of the most intense fights because, or at least for me, because we all know that, Doomsday has killed Superman in the comics on Batman v Superman, and in the animated film, The Death of Superman. So I was questioning if Superman would actually appear to die as an ending cliffhanger. But now Superman, initially thinks he's killed Doomsday. He throws him on top of a cell tower and impales Doomsday. But as we know, if Doomsday dies, he'll just come back even stronger. So Doomsday does return more angry than ever and just starts beating the crap out of Superman. And then Doomsday flies into space with Superman, who is nearly dead at this point. But then we have a really cool scene where Superman regains consciousness by remembering all the good times he's had with his family, as then he's able to take the upper hand on Doomsday. But then they take their fight to the moon, which is actually pretty cool, and the two charge at each other, and that's how the episode ends. So yeah, guys, obviously in season 4, we know a lot of different stuff's going to be happening, and now we know there's a Doomsday cliffhanger with Superman, versus Doomsday. We know season 4 is going to have 10 episodes. Lex Luthor is going to be a season regular. A lot of the other main cast will actually not be on the show. So yeah, the characters that won't be listed as season regulars for season 4 include John Henry, Sam Lane, Lana, Kyle, Chrissy, Sarah, and Natalie. But yeah, we'll still, of course, have the main cast, Superman, Lois, the boys, and yeah, so that's still going to be really great to see. Lex Luthor, like I said, is going to be a main character on season 4, which is going to be so good. I really hope season 4 is not going to be the last season. But yeah, nonetheless, this episode was really good. I'm excited for season 4. And yeah, Doomsday finally appearing. We actually thought he would appear in season 2 when Bizarro became a character, but obviously he did not appear. But yeah, I'm thankful we got him now because I'm really excited for season 4 even more than I was before. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on the episode. What did you guys think of it? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.